OK, the reason that oysters are associated with stout is that the waters around England and Ireland always used to be teeming with oysters. It was quite a cheap food, very, very nutritious. So the working classes used to put stout with oysters.
Have a swig.
So have a good smell of it, first
it.
of all. And you might get some chocolatey and some coffee flavours coming through. And
yeah, it smells like it's quite a stout.
It's a great beer, is this. It's really, really versatile.
It's quite light tasting because I always think of stout as being quite a heavy drink. You know, in the summertime, you think of rosé and all those sorts of things. You'd never think of
When I used to work in a pub, I used to hate cleaning out the drip trays of the pumps of the stout because it stinks.
It feels fancy drinking it out of a wine glass.
But you get the smell of it better when you drink it out of a wine glass.
What's this?
OK, so it's a very versatile drink. So we can put it with goat's cheese, we can put it with something like Christmas cake. It goes brilliantly with Christmas cake. We put it with fruit cake today, so I want you to taste your beer, then try the fruit cake, and then taste your beer again. And you're probably going to get some different flavours coming through in your beer when you try that. It's just going to knock the edge off the bitterness.
Okay, we've got
that beer.
Yeah,
we've got lots to get through, so we might have to whiz through these.
Okay,
what have we got here?
Next beer is from a brewery called Wadworth in Devizes in Wiltshire. Okay, and they developed a range of beers which are specifically designed to go with food. So it's called Beer Kitchen.
Go on.
So this is a 5.5% beer. It's an espresso stout.
Ooh, that's strong.
So think about the way that when you have a pudding in a restaurant, you tend to have an espresso coffee or any kind of coffee.
Oh, you get that, don't you?
So I put it with tiramisu because you've got the real creaminess of the tiramisu.
That's quite sharp in comparison to the other ones.
Try your food, try the tiramisu, then go back to your beer, and you'll notice that you just knock the edge off that hot bitterness that's in the beer.
Let's move on to the next one. This one comes with strawberries.
This is really special. This is from Bedford, from a brewery called Wells and Youngs, and it's a double chocolate stout.
Right.
OK, so
double chocolate?
Double chocolate stout. It's got real dark chocolate in it. It's got chocolate essence in it. And I thought, rather than put it with something sweet, what we'll do is we'll go with strawberries, because if you think about strawberries dipped into chocolate, it's very indulgent, it's very luxurious.
Is that
and then
nice?
when you try your beer...
Is this weird for you? Because I imagine you just drink it straight up.
Well, you know, I'm not a massive stout drinker. I would normally drink, like, just regular beer. But, yeah, I mean, they're definitely quite different, I will say that much.
Yeah, they balance each other out
difference.
a little bit.
And you're right about the food. You don't think of stout and food complementing
you
each other.
don't. In fact, you don't think of beer with food full stop. You always go for wine, and yet beers actually work better with a lot of foods.
Let's move on to our next one. What's this one?
Last beer is 8.5%. It comes from a brewery called Black Sheep in Massam in North Yorkshire, and it's an Imperial Russian Stout. Imperial Russian Stouts are traditionally a lot stronger.
Sharp.
OK.
Yeah, that's definitely a lot stronger.
So you're not going to drink a pint of that. You're probably going to sip it rather than sup it.
Right.
That's more bitter, isn't it?
Right. Again, try it with your chocolate, because what I've done there is instead of matching sweetness with sweetness, we've got the flavours of the chocolate in the stout matching a really dark chocolate.
I do know what you mean. That helps.
Yeah.
I couldn't drink that one so much on its own. But
Can I smell it?
It makes it smoother.
It's almost like a port wine, is that?
Right, OK. I mean, 8.5% is quite strong, isn't it?
Well, your Guinness is 4.1%, so you're kind of almost doubling... Well, you are doubling the strength with that.
That really is, isn't it? Now, just to make sure I'm not totally left out, you've got some foods here as well, which have been cooked with
We have,
stout.
yeah. First of all, we've got macaroni cheese and stout.
Really?
If you're trying to get someone who says, I really don't like beer, get them to try a beer with a bit of cheese, and it totally changes the characteristics.
Is this macaroni cheese
because
or mashed potato on top of it? Wow, that is a carb fest.
Every time I see, like, a steak and Guinness pie, I'm turned off of it straight away because it has Guinness in it, because I'm not a Guinness drinker. Yeah.
Right.
So the idea of eating Guinness to me is like, oh no, I don't want to eat
You don't really get it. It just gives a sort of a hint, doesn't it? I would put it in chili sometimes. I would put stout or coffee, believe it or not. Yeah, but if you put a little bit of it in a chili,
it's almost
really
like a
nice.
seasoning.
Yeah, it is.
It's perfect. And you get roasted flavour. If you think about when you roast meat, you get kind of caramelised flavours coming through, and it matches the beer.
Do you like it?
It's weird, but you want more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, you can taste it. It's just like a little hint of it afterwards. OK, this
Now we're talking.
We've got a chocolate chocolate stout cake here.
Really?
So remember what I said about a lot of stouts have chocolatey and coffee flavours coming through, so they're absolutely perfect to go into sweet desserts.
There you go.
Holly, you are allowed this one. And you have the
And it's
right
fine,
to eat all of that.
Because when you cook it, all the alcohol
All the
burns off.
alcohol comes out of
So
it,
I'm
so you'll
okay.
be absolutely fine. with
Get
that.
off!
No, get out.
Oh, that's really good.
Oh, it's so good.
You like that?
I just want to go like that.